Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about a mindset that can completely transform the way you live your life, the way you approach your goals, and the way you handle the challenges that stand in your way. It's called default aggressive, and it's one of Jocko Willink's most powerful philosophies for winning at life. Default aggressive doesn't mean being reckless, it doesn't mean being careless, and it doesn't mean lashing out. What it means is choosing action over hesitation, choosing decisiveness over doubt, and choosing forward momentum over fear. Too many people wait. They wait for the right time, they wait for the perfect plan, they wait for permission. But life doesn't reward waiting, it rewards movement. It rewards those who step forward, even when things are uncertain. Being default aggressive means that when you're faced with a challenge, you don't back down. You move, you strike, you act. It's the difference between watching your life slip by and taking charge of it with every ounce of energy you've got. Think about the moments in your life when you hesitated, when you second-guessed yourself, when you let fear, comfort, or excuses slow you down. How many opportunities slipped through your fingers because you waited too long? That's the cost of hesitation. It robs you of your chance to grow, to win, to rise. Default aggressive is the antidote to hesitation. It's the command to move first, to take the initiative, to create momentum instead of waiting for it. When you are default aggressive, you don't ask life for permission. You don't sit around hoping for the perfect moment. You make the moment. You force progress. You take responsibility for building your path forward. And yes, being default aggressive requires discipline, courage, and the ability to push through fear. But the truth is, fear is never going away. There will always be doubts, risks, and unknowns. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones without fear. They're the ones who take action despite it. Aggression doesn't eliminate fear. It overpowers it. It makes you move before fear has the chance to paralyze you. Life is short. Time is limited, and every day you spend hesitating is a day you can never get back. You cannot afford to sit idle while your dreams, your goals, and your future wait for you. Default aggressive means you show up every day ready to act, ready to attack your tasks, ready to chase your goals with relentless energy. So don't wait for life to hand you the perfect conditions, because it never will. Don't wait for motivation to magically show up, because it won't. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission to chase your goals, because that's never coming. Be default aggressive. Attack life. Attack your fears. Attack your challenges. Move forward with relentless action, and don't stop until you break through every obstacle in your way, because at the end of the day, you will not be remembered for the things you plan to do. You'll be remembered for the things you did, and that requires action. That requires aggression. That requires you to stop waiting and start moving now. I want to dive deep into something that will completely shift the way you see your life and the way you handle your future. The truth is this: life isn't waiting for you, and neither should you. Too many people wake up every single day and hesitate. They hesitate to chase their dreams. They hesitate to face their fears. They hesitate to take that first step toward the things that they know will change their lives. And that hesitation, that pause, that delay, is the exact thing that keeps them stuck year after year, wishing, hoping, but never moving. That's where Jocko Willink's mindset of default aggressive comes in. It's about developing the habit of acting without hesitation. It's about moving forward with purpose, intensity, and decisiveness when everyone else is standing still. Default aggressive is not about recklessness. It's not about rushing blindly into every situation. No, it's about training yourself to step into the fight of life immediately, to lean into the challenges, and to attack your problems before they have a chance to grow bigger. The longer you wait, the stronger your fears and excuses become. But the moment you act, the moment you move, you take control. Think about how most people live. They wait for the right time. They say, "I'll start tomorrow." They convince themselves that they need to learn more, prepare more, plan more before they can begin. But tomorrow is a lie. Tomorrow is a dream that never comes true, because when tomorrow arrives, they find another excuse, another reason to delay. That's why you see people in the same place 5 years from now as they are today. They have been waiting their entire lives for the perfect moment, when in reality, the perfect moment doesn't exist. Default aggressive says, stop waiting, stop delaying, stop overthinking, act now, because every moment you hesitate is another moment wasted, another opportunity lost. When you choose to live default aggressive, you stop reacting to life and you start attacking life. You stop playing defense and you go on offense. And the truth is, most of your problems shrink the second you move toward them instead of running away. Fear thrives in hesitation. It grows stronger the longer you sit and think about it. But the instant you take action, fear begins to lose its power. That's why action is everything. The people who win in life aren't the ones who had the best conditions, the most money, or the most talent. They're the ones who moved before they felt ready. They're the ones who took that first step while everyone else was standing still. They didn't wait for clarity. They created clarity through movement. They didn't wait for motivation. They generated motivation through discipline and action. That's what default aggressive means. You don't ask life for permission. You take life by the throat and make it move in your direction. But let's be honest, this is not easy. The natural instinct of the human mind is to stay safe, stay comfortable, and avoid risk. Your brain is designed to keep you alive, not to make you successful. That's why hesitation feels natural. That's why excuses come so easily. That's why comfort is addictive. But comfort is the enemy of progress, and hesitation is the enemy of greatness. You can't wait for the fear to disappear, because it never will. You can't wait for the doubt to fade, because it never will. You can't wait until you feel ready, because you'll never feel fully ready. The only answer is to move forward, despite fear, despite doubt, despite uncertainty. And that is what separates the strong from the weak. The weak wait, the strong act, the weak hesitate, the strong attack. Ask yourself this: how many times in your life have you lost opportunities because you waited? How many times did you know what you needed to do, but you froze? You second-guessed yourself. You convinced yourself you weren't ready. How many times did you let fear and overthinking hold you back? Those moments don't come back. Opportunities don't wait around for you. They pass by, and they don't return. That's why default aggressive is so powerful. It eliminates hesitation, it eliminates excuses, and it forces you to move forward. The instant you feel doubt, that's when you act. The second your mind says maybe later, that's when you do it now. Because if you don't, you've already lost. Now some people will say, but what if I make mistakes? What if I fail? And the answer is simple. You will. You will fail. You will make mistakes, and you will face setbacks. But failure is not the enemy. Hesitation is. Failure teaches you lessons. Failure gives you experience. Failure builds your strength. But hesitation gives you nothing. It only leaves you with regret. Regret that you didn't act. Regret that you didn't try. Regret that you wasted your time. You can recover from failure, but you cannot recover from wasted years. That's why the only way forward is action. Default aggressive is about choosing forward movement over regret, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, because progress beats perfection every single time. Look at history. Look at leaders. Look at warriors. Look at successful people in any field. They didn't sit back and wait. They acted. They were decisive. They moved forward when others froze. And that's why they won. Jocko Willink, as a Navy SEAL commander, didn't have the luxury of waiting for the perfect plan. In combat, hesitation means death. You can't sit and debate forever. You have to decide, you have to act, you have to move. That same principle applies to life. No, you may not be on a battlefield, but you are in the fight of your life every single day. The fight for your dreams, your future, and your potential. And hesitation will kill your chances just as fast as it kills soldiers on the battlefield. The only way to win is to attack life with relentless action. This is the first key to living default aggressive. Understanding that waiting is weakness, hesitation is poison, and inaction is defeat. Every single day you have a choice. You can wait and let life pass you by, or you can attack and take control. You can be passive and reactive, or you can be aggressive and decisive. And the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you your dreams. Nobody is going to build your future for you. That responsibility is yours, and yours alone. And the way you claim it is by acting. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. So from this day forward, train yourself to act. Train yourself to move before hesitation sets in. Train yourself to attack every task, every goal, every challenge with relentless aggression. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Create them. Don't wait for motivation. Generate it through discipline. Don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. Because every day you hesitate is a day you'll never get back. And every day you attack is a day you win ground. A day you grow stronger. A day you build the life you want. Default aggressive is not just a mindset. It's a way of life. And if you commit to it fully, there is nothing that can stop you. You understood about living default aggressive was that hesitation is poison and waiting is weakness. Then the second part you need to master is this. Default aggressive is not just about moving quickly. It's about moving with relentless intensity and purpose every single day of your life. It's about attacking your goals and your challenges like they are enemies standing in your way, because that's exactly what they are. Life throws obstacles at you every single day. Distractions, problems, setbacks, fears, failures, doubts, and you don't defeat them by waiting or wishing they'll disappear. You defeat them by charging forward, by attacking them with so much relentless action that they don't stand a chance. This mindset is about becoming unstoppable, becoming someone who doesn't flinch in the face of hardship but instead drives harder, faster, and stronger into the storm. Because the truth is, storms will always come, life will test you. The question is not if you will face obstacles. The question is how you respond when they come. And the answer is default aggressive. Let me be clear. This doesn't mean recklessness. This doesn't mean chaos. This doesn't mean running blindly in every direction. Default aggressive means deliberate intensity. It means the moment life puts a wall in front of you, you don't stop and wonder how big it is, how hard it might be to climb. You start climbing. It means the second a challenge appears, you don't complain, you don't panic, you don't waste time, you engage, you attack, and you find a way through.
Because hesitation gives that wall time to grow taller in your mind. Hesitation makes the obstacle seem bigger than it actually is, but action shrinks it. Action makes the impossible seem possible. That's the key. When you move with aggression, your problems get smaller, not larger. And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Think about this in your own life. How many times have you had a problem that looked massive in your head, but the second you finally faced it, it wasn't nearly as bad as you imagined? That's the power of default aggressive. It's not that the challenge wasn't real, it's that fear magnified it in your imagination because you gave it time to grow. Fear thrives in stillness. Fear thrives in waiting. But fear dies when you attack. The second you take action, fear loses its grip on you. That's why people who live default aggressive are fearless, not because they don't feel fear, but because they've trained themselves to attack anyway. They've learned that fear cannot survive in the presence of relentless action. Now here's the truth about action. It builds momentum. Momentum is the hidden force that separates successful people from everyone else. The hardest step is always the first one. The hardest part is always starting. But once you start, once you build momentum, once you begin moving, everything else becomes easier. That's why living default aggressive is such a powerful mindset. It forces you to start before fear convinces you not to. It forces you to move before doubt paralyzes you. And once you're in motion, once you've taken that step, you build momentum that carries you forward. Momentum is like fire. It grows with every action, and the more you feed it, the harder it is to stop. People who live default aggressive know how to build momentum fast, and they know how to keep it alive by attacking life every single day. But here's the part people don't want to hear. Relentless action is exhausting. It's not easy to wake up and attack life every single day. It's not easy to stay aggressive when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when you've been knocked down 100 times. And this is why most people fail. They want easy, they want comfort, they want rest. But greatness is not built in comfort. Strength is not forged in relaxation. Discipline is not created in ease. You don't become relentless by choosing what's easy. You become relentless by choosing what's hard. You become relentless by choosing to attack even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it, even when your mind is screaming for you to quit. That's what separates those who win from those who dream. The dreamers stop when they're tired. The warriors attack harder. The dreamers give up when they fail. The warriors fight again. The dreamers wait for life to get easier. The warriors become stronger. That's what relentless action means. It's not a one-time decision. It's a way of life. It means every day you wake up, you are on the offense. Every day you wake up, you are attacking life, not waiting for life to happen to you. Too many people live on defense. They let life come to them. They let circumstances dictate their moves. They react to everything instead of acting first. And when you live like that, you're always behind. You're always catching up. You're always trying to survive instead of thrive. But default aggressive flips the script. It means you are always on offense. You're the one making the moves. You're the one creating opportunities. You're the one building momentum. You are not waiting for life. You are creating life. Now let's talk about failure, because this is where people misunderstand default aggressive. They think that by attacking relentlessly, they will somehow avoid failure. That's not true. In fact, living this way guarantees you will fail more often, because you will take more risks, you will try more things, you will push harder and further than others. But here's the key. You will also learn more, grow more, and succeed more. People who play it safe, who hesitate, who wait for perfect conditions, they fail less in the short term, but they fail completely in the long term. Why? Because they never achieve anything worth having. They end up with nothing but regret. But the one who lives default aggressive, yes, they fail, but they fail forward. They fail with lessons. They fail with growth. And each failure makes them stronger. Each setback sharpens their resolve. Each obstacle fuels their determination. That's why relentless action wins, because it transforms failure into fuel. So what does this look like in real life? It looks like attacking your health every single day, not waiting until Monday, not waiting until New Year's, not waiting until you feel ready. It looks like attacking your work, your career, your goals, with intensity, showing up early, staying late, doing more than what's expected. It looks like attacking your relationships by being present, by putting in effort, by building instead of waiting for things to fix themselves. It looks like attacking your fears directly. If something scares you, you do it anyway, and you do it now. That's default aggressive. It's not just a philosophy you talk about, it's a philosophy you live. Every decision, every day, every choice is filtered through one question. Am I attacking this with everything I've got, or am I hesitating, holding back and waiting? The truth is, the world respects aggression, not recklessness, but disciplined aggression. The world respects people who move fast, who execute, who don't waste time. That's why leaders, entrepreneurs, athletes, warriors, all live this way. Because they know that life is short, opportunities are rare, and hesitation costs too much. If you want to stand out, if you want to rise above, if you want to achieve what others don't, you must attack harder, faster, and longer than everyone else. You must train yourself to live default aggressive. And here's the conclusion to this second key point. You don't get a second life. This is it. Every day you waste is gone forever. Every chance you miss is never coming back. Every hesitation steals your future. But every action builds it. Every step forward creates momentum. Every moment you attack moves you closer to the life you want. Living default aggressive is about seizing control of your destiny by attacking it relentlessly, without pause, without hesitation, without fear. Because when you live this way, nothing can stop you. Obstacles don't stop you. Failures don't stop you. Fear doesn't stop you. You become unstoppable. You become relentless. You become the person who doesn't just survive life. You dominate it. So decide today. Decide now. No more waiting, no more hesitation, no more playing small. Default aggressive means you attack life with everything you have, every single day. And if you do that, if you commit fully to this mindset, you will not only change your results, you will change who you are. You will become stronger, sharper, tougher, and more unstoppable than you ever imagined. That is the power of default aggressive. That is the power of relentless action. And that is how you take control of your life today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your days. When we talk about default aggressive, and we've already understood that hesitation is poison, and that relentless action builds momentum, then the third key point you must truly understand is that living default aggressive means mastering the battlefield of your own mind. Because let's be honest, the real war is not outside. The real war is not the obstacle. It is not the people standing in your way. It is not even the failures you face. It's the battle between discipline and weakness, between courage and fear, between drive and comfort, between progress and procrastination. And if you don't win that war in your head, you will never win in the world. Default aggressive means that when that little voice inside your head tells you to hit the snooze button, you attack it. When it tells you to quit, you attack it. When it tells you to wait, to delay, to take the easy path, you crush it with action. Because the battlefield of the mind is the place where victories are won before you even step into the fight. Every morning when you wake up, you are stepping into combat with yourself. That alarm clock goes off. That's the first enemy of the day. And how you respond sets the tone for everything that follows. Do you get up and attack the day? Or do you hesitate, roll over and surrender before the fight even begins? This is why Jocko says discipline equals freedom. Discipline is the weapon you need to win the battle against weakness. Discipline is the strategy you need to live. Default aggressive. Without discipline, aggression is just noise. Without discipline, intensity burns out. But with discipline, aggression becomes unstoppable. With discipline, aggression becomes precise, sharp, powerful. This is why your mindset must be trained like a warrior's mindset. You can't just wait for motivation to show up. You can't hope to feel inspired every morning. You must build a mind that moves forward regardless of feelings. A mind that attacks even when it doesn't want to. A mind that defaults to aggression every single time. Now think about what happens if you don't win this battle in your mind. You become a prisoner of your own weakness. You start negotiating with yourself, giving excuses, letting comfort win. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. You say, I'll try later, and later becomes never. This is why most people never build momentum. They lose the war in their head before they even step into the arena. But the person who masters their mind, who trains their thinking, who hardens their mindset, they cannot be stopped. Because even when they feel fear, they move. Even when they feel doubt, they act. Even when they feel exhausted, they attack. And that's what makes all the difference. The difference between winners and losers is not talent. It's not luck. It's not resources. The difference is that winners attack even when it's hard. They win the war in their head every single day. And this is why I want you to understand that default aggressive is not just a switch you turn on once in a while. It's not something you do only when life is exciting or when motivation is high. It's something you live. It's your default setting. That means when you face adversity, your reaction is not hesitation. It's action. When you face uncertainty, your reaction is not fear. It's action. When you face failure, your reaction is not retreat. It's action. Always action. Always forward. Always aggressive. This is how you rewire your brain. This is how you train your mindset to stop overthinking. Stop hesitating. Stop procrastinating. Every time that weak voice rises up inside, you respond with immediate action. You condition yourself to default to aggression until hesitation is no longer even an option in your mind. Think about a soldier on the battlefield. If he hesitates, if he doubts, if he freezes, he dies. The same is true for you, but in a different way. If you hesitate, your dreams die. If you doubt, your opportunities die. If you freeze, your growth dies. That's why you must train yourself like a soldier trains for war. You must drill your mindset daily. You must put yourself in difficult situations